Hello crafties, welcome to another video. My name is Infiniti and today I am back again with another stitch tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the Bavarian stitch. It is also known as the wool eater stitch. I recently made a little throw out of it and it is super warm. It's super simple. I would still probably classify it as an intermediate level pattern. You have to be familiar with slip stitches and treble crochets as well as clusters. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now most videos will show you how to create this pattern with multiple colors. I personally prefer using variegated yarn, just let the colors change themselves. It's like less strings and all that. So I'm going to be showing you how to make this stitch on with that in mind. So to get started, I have my crochet hook. I am using Red Heart Ombre and a 5.5mm crochet hook. You're going to start off with a slip knot, and then you will chain 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, let me zoom in just a wee bit, just a little bit. And what we're going to do now is join to this first chain with a slip stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through both of those loops. Alright, and now we're going to chain up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now what we're going to do is yarn over. We're going to make a series of 4 sets of treble crochet clusters. So what that is, you're going to yarn over twice. You're going to insert your hook into the center of the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, as we are not completing that treble crochet, but instead going to yarn over, insert our hook into the ring again, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you want to do this, you're going to have 5 trebles because the chain 5 does count as a treble crochet, or you'll have 5 loops on your hook. So I'm going to continue making my cluster. Awesome. So now I have 5 loops on my hook, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 5, and then I'm going to chain 5. And then I will slip stitch into this ring. Okay, so this is kind of the first, I like to call them petals. This is the first petal for the center of our swatch here, or your project rather. So what you want to do now is chain 5. Okay, and then we want to yarn over twice, insert our hook into the center of the ring, and we're going to make another treble crochet cluster. Like I said, I recently finished off a lap blanket with this stitch, and it's very snuggly. I made it in the anthracite color of this yarn, and it's just gorgeous. I'm in love with it. Alright, pull through all 5, and then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, a little pro tip, you know, weaving in your center string as you go along will be a big help to you. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the center ring, and I'm going to complete my next 2 petals off camera, and I'll meet you guys back when we're ready to start row 2. Okay, so I just chained my last 5 for row 1, and I'm going to insert my hook into that chain, that ring, and I'm going to slip stitch. Alright, so now starting row 2, finally the good stuff. We are going to chain up 2, so 1, 2, okay, and so I want you to really look at these little petals. So on either side of the treble crochet stitches you have this chain of 5. We're not going to be working into that, but this very top stitch where my nail is, like at the, you'll see. So we're going to yarn over twice. We're going to be working this whole thing in treble crochets and slip stitches. I'm sorry. So insert your hook into the top of that cluster, and you are going to make 12 treble crochets. That's right, 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then you want to chain 2. Before we move on, something I figured out as I first learned this stitch, I'm gonna count the heck out of each one of these just to make sure that, you know, I'm not miscounting, because I had to at one point frog almost an entire row, and that was not okay. That was a lot of yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm safe to move on. Alright, and so after you do those 12 treble crochet and you chain that 2, you're going to slip stitch into that slip stitch from the previous row. So it's going to be a little bar down here, and you're going to insert your hook in there and just slip stitch. Alright, and we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to do this again, inserting our hook at the top of that cluster and making 12 treble crochets. Alright, and I'm going to chain 2 and slip stitch into the slip stitch from the previous row. Alright, and as you continue to go around round 2, your little swatch is going to end up looking like a wonky butterfly, but that's exactly what you want. And so what I'm going to do is do my next set of petals, and then I'll come back when I'm about to start round 3. Alright, awesome. So like I said, wonky butterfly. It's adorable. So now what I want to do is, at this point, usually people would change the color, like cut off their yarn and change the color. But what I want to do, and what I figured out, is that I can just slip stitch my way into my next row. So for row 3, I'm going to slip stitch twice into this chain 2 space. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 2. Alright, and so to start off row 3, I need to like cancel out 4 of these stitches and work at the top. So I'm going to slip stitch into the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 4. Okay, so now I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me zoom out just a wee bit. Alright, so there's my 5. Now across the next 4 stitches, so these guys, I want to make a treble crochet cluster. So I'm going to do that, yarning over twice, and making back post treble crochets across the next 4 stitches. And 4. Alright, and again, you should have 5 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 5. And you're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, come on, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to come down here, and I hope to make this really evident. You're going to come down here and you're going to slip stitch right into this stitch. So right here. I'm just going to insert my hook and make that slip stitch. Okay, and now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to chain up 5. We're going to be making a cluster, but it's going to be a bigger cluster. So we're going to chain up 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we are going to make 8 back post treble crochets together, or a cluster of 8 treble crochets. So yarn over, we're going to do this first back post. And the second one. And the third one. Then the fourth one. So you want to make sure that you're working with a hook that can handle 10 stitches at a time. Okay, now we're going to yarn over twice, and we're going to move over to this petal over here, and we're going to get 4 of these guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all the stitches on our hook. I actually haven't counted these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going to pull through all 9 stitches on your hook. Alright, and you are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going to come in and we're going to slip stitch right here. So basically right between that 4th and 5th stitch. Okay, and now I'm going to chain up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to use these next 4 stitches and make another one of these guys. But I'm actually going to go back. And fix it because I goofed up. Alright guys, I've returned. I fixed my little blunder. So I'm going to go ahead and chain up that 5, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to start making, again, this little peak right here. So I'm going to do this back post. I'm going to do this treble crochet cluster, but on the back posts. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Be careful if you have a yarn that plies apart. Alright, I'm going to pull through all 5 loops on my hook and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to come down here and slip stitch between this 4th and 5th stitch. Okay, and so then we're going to go back and we're going to do another cluster of 8, and then we're going to do another corner cluster, and then we're going to repeat that process all the way around. And I'll meet you guys back when I'm ready to start row 4. Alright guys, so I'm coming up on this last set of 8 clusters, and so I wanted to let you guys know that you are actually going to be doing your last like half of your back posts around these stitches that you slip stitched into. So we're going to go ahead and yarn over twice and just back post cluster as normal. I guess that's what it's called. Alright, and we can pull through all 9 of those loops on our hook and chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to slip stitch right into this slip stitch from the previous row. And it can be a little tricky, so you know, tension matters. But alright, so this is the general pattern for the Bavarian stitch. I'm gonna stop my swatch right here, but if you'll notice, like on that blanket that I did, every row, this whole pattern is basically a 2-row repeat of expanding and decreasing, expanding and decreasing until you get your project as large as you'd like it to be. I should have like a photo of that blanket, like right here, zooming in maybe. So I hope today's tutorial was helpful. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll be more than glad to help or go over small things. Don't forget to check out my other social media. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Twitter, Reddit. I'm everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more awesome future content. And until next time, happy making.